Why it is important? It's because once you create the structure, you will need to work on optimizing that account. I will recap the Google ad structure really quickly. So the hierarchy is comprised of an ad account where you can have your email and password and billing settings. Under that, you have the campaign level where you can select your budget settings and you can decide where your ads will appear. And afterwards, you have the ad group level where you can select keywords and create ads. Why it is important? It's because once you create the structure, you will need to work on optimizing that account. So you need to work at a very granular level with regards to the ad groups and be very focused in your messaging so that you can better increase your quality score and relevance of your ads. And what I typically recommend is when you have a very vast website where you have multiple groups of products and multiple groups of services, is that you create a campaign for each group of products or services, because later you can create those ad groups and you won't have hundreds of ad groups to deal with in one big campaign. So when you would have to deal with a smaller website with a few products, then it's okay to use one campaign per promotion period, for example, or one always-on campaign. What I typically advise is that in the ad groups, you associate very few keywords, which are very precise. Some experts recommend using one keyword per ad group. What I found works best for me is to use 5 keywords per ad group and make sure that they are very relevant to that ad group, that they exist on the landing page, that they exist in the ads, and this way you ensure that they're optimized and precise. When you create the ads, I advise creating at least three or four, and later, after a week or 10 days, you can see which ones are the ones who perform better and which ones are the ones who don't perform that well. Those who don't perform that well, I typically pause and I take the ones that perform well and create an ad copy based on those. I'll just give you some metrics that I usually look at when optimizing my campaigns. So one is impression and an impression share. So impression will show you the number of times that your ads was shown to the users, and the impression share is going to show you the percentage of impressions that your ads received compared to the number of impressions that your ads could get. The CTR is very important. There are quite a few considerations that can affect your CTR, such as the industry you're in, how many competitors advertise in a similar manner than you face, local market and demand for your products and services, and so on. There are some benchmarks that WordStream offers who place the CTR between 4 to 10% depending on the industry. I would note here that it's a good value to report to, but when considering WordStream benchmarks and you are elsewhere in the world than US, you should know that they are basing their benchmarks on their US based client database, and they are calculating this as a median value. Your local market may have a lower CPC or CPA. Most markets do. Cost per click. WordStream also published some benchmarks here per industry, and it calculated a benchmark of $269 for the search ads and $0.63 for the display ads. Again, this will depend on your competition, the quality score, the quality and precision of your ad groups, the selection of keywords. If you want to decrease your CPC, it's easier to do so in the long run, and some good tips for optimization would include to remove broad search terms, add negative keywords periodically, structuring narrower ad groups for each part of your business, improving the quality score, lowering the bids, depending on the situation, lowering the value assigned to achieving your campaign objective if you're bidding on that, using time and geo reports to filter out those regions which don't perform that well, and they have an expensive CPC, and also doing the same, for example, with the time of the day. So reporting on time of the day and filtering out those expensive CPC with low return on ad spend. Return on ad spend would be the next one. So return on ad spend is calculated as the value you spend on your ads divided by the amount that you receive from your ads. And there are instances when it's harder to calculate because maybe you have a very long conversion funnel, or the monetary value received from your ads may not translate immediately into profits or revenue for the company. You could have like a newsletter subscription or a freemium model. Here you'll need to agree internally with your team how to calculate this metric and what value to associate. Cost per conversion, so CPA, it's pre-calculated in the system, so you can apply it to your reports and understand how much does the action that you want the user to take on your website or an acquisition cost. And WordStream placed this between $44 and $140 depending on the industry. Conversion rate is calculated as conversions divided by number of interactions or clicks. It's also pre-calculated. Of course, the higher it is, the better. The quality score is very important because it affects the CPC, it affects your ad performance and CTR, and you can add this as a column to your reports and you can check it regularly. The value that the platform gives to your quality score is somewhere between 1 to 10. Ideally, you want to be above the value of 7 to 10, 10 being the highest quality score. And if you want to optimize that, you should check and rework your ad copy, ensure a pleasant landing page experience, a very good conversion funnel definition. As a good rule of thumb, you should continuously optimize the campaigns, the landing pages, and simplify the customer journey. The attention span of the user is decreasing, so you need to be very clear with what action you want your users to take on the website and simplify the process to get there. You can set an average daily budget for each of your Google Ads campaigns. At times, the Google algorithm may predict that your campaign will perform better, so it may end up spending up to twice as much as the daily budget that it calculates. However, within a period of 30 days, you will still end up paying the average you should pay for those 30 days. For a campaign where you pay per conversion, the system may spend more than twice per day in one particular day. However, towards the end of the 30-day period, you would have paid the average, so it will maybe be less the next day and it will compensate. I usually start with a more aggressive daily budget at the beginning, and once I optimize and understand where I'm situated compared to the market, and I may consider in time decreasing progressively that amount.